I'm a diabetic patient, and I've been a diabetes for the last 15 years. Yes, so I just, in February this year, I was diagnosed as having kidney failure. February this year, I was told by my doctor that my kidneys were not performing well. And it was from that point up to March, I was hospitalized back in my country. And in March, I was looking through the internet when I realized that there was a hospital in China which could cure disease without having to go through donors and doing the stem cell transplant. And that prompted me to come to this country. Before coming over here, I was hospitalized a couple of times because of the situation I was in. I was very sick, very weak, shortness of breath, heart failure. Yes, so many. I went through a lot of trouble. I lost all the weight that I had gained. I was 60 kilo at the time. And then I went down to 55 kilo. Yeah. But again, there were medications given just to put me off from those other pains that I was going through. But I managed to get through and to be on my feet again.
So how many pounds are you right now?
I'm 56 at the moment. It goes up and down. So I had, I was on the dialysis, and I think apart from the other normal treatments that I had, I was on the dialysis, I should say. That's the most important because it was really relating to the kidneys. So the dialysis was sort of a relief, when I was having it, going through it.
My name is Raka Itana. Seated next to me is my wife, Josephine Itana. And further down is my mother-in-law. My wife is a patient, so she will briefly talk on her medical stuff. But I want to put on record that my wife is the first Papua New Guinean to come to this. In fact, three of us for the first time into this hospital. So I think it's a great stuff to be here. Papua New Guinea is up north of close to Australia, and it's probably the biggest island in the South Pacific region. And our existence here is actually first time in coming to this hospital.
When I was going through the internet, I found out about this hospital. I was very desperate to come here. So I told my husband and my family members, my brothers, sisters, and my uncles and aunties to assist with my coming over. And they sort of assisted that with finance. And here we are today in this hospital. Yes, they've been very helpful. They've been praying about, every day there's people praying about me and my mom and my husband and myself. Since the day we departed, we've been praying and about, to recover and to get the useful medication from here. So I get the emotional, I get the feeling that my family back home are always praying for me. That's why I'm getting stronger, and also the medication is helping me a lot. Well, in a sense, yes, it is. The family support is very, very necessary in such cases like mine, when you're in a desperate need to get well, and also when you're far away from home. You really need your family support to back you up, to give you that moral support to be on your feet. Back in my country, we don't have the necessary instruments, I should say, the technology to cure kidney diseases. It's very hard. We have to be out of the country, either to go to Australia, Singapore, Manila, or China for such cases like that. My country is a developing country, and we only have, within the country there are, I think, 2 hospitals which have dialysis machines. So it's very, very hard to treat the kidney problem back in my country. While I was hospitalized back in my country, I was looking through the internet, and I happened to find this hospital in China. And when I saw that they go through stem cells and all, although I don't know much about stem cells, and Chinese, in my thinking, they deal with herbs. I love taking herbs. Yeah. So when I saw that this was a kind of hospital that dealt with herbs, and I was more than prepared to come here. It was through the internet that I came to know this hospital. Herbs that have been made in America and in Australia, sent over to Papua New Guinea, to my country, and I buy them from the shops.
Here?
I saw a Kapancha in Cairns, in Australia, and he's specialized in Chinese herbs. And I didn't get his views as to whether I should